This is a week of integration. It's a week of slowing down, one where it's fabulous to repair the nervous system and to ground, to protect your energy. We just are coming off a beautiful full moon in Leo. And now, as the moon is getting darker in the sky above, it's a signal to us to let go, to release, to integrate, to kind of take a moment to step back, pause, and reassess what belongs to us, what continues to belong to us, and what is important for us to release. These could be physical items in our house, like clutter. It could be emotions, it could be thoughts, it could be beliefs. But one thing is empaths that I have discovered time and time again, myself included, is that it's so easy for us to pick up emotions and feelings and thoughts and ideas from the world around us. It's almost like you pick up cold germs. You just go out for a walk, whether it's in the park or you're in your home or you're at the grocery store, you're watching something, and immediately those emotions, those feelings, those thoughts kind of cling on, kind of like touching a handle after someone sneezes. And it can be hard. We can feel these big, overwhelming emotions, feelings, and not even realize that it doesn't all belong to us. So that's what I want to talk about today, how you can harness the energy of the cosmos, the moon. We use tools like the cards, sometimes crystals, sometimes other sacred practices, energy practices that hone your intuitive gifts. I love to share that with you. So I'm so glad that you're here. As you hop on, definitely say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. It's a cold, snowy day here. I'm switching things up in my office a little bit, changing my desk and playing with arrangements. So welcome, welcome. Julie, hello. So glad to have you. So let's talk about this week ahead. Know that it's not a week to push harder. It's a week to, and it's interesting because this is what came to me in my morning meditation, because I paused and I thought, oh, I don't know if I really have time for this. And I thought, Irina, really? It's important sometimes to realize that to go faster, we need to slow down. And even if I didn't have time for like my full half hour or 20 minutes, I thought 10 minutes is going to be good enough today. Better something than nothing. Just a chance to remind me what's my energy, what are my thoughts, my beliefs versus everybody else. And one of the little prayers that I love to say at the beginning of the day, my Energy Alchemist students know this, is may God go before me and show me the way. May angels watch and protect me throughout the day. Because remember, you are a child of the universe and you have free will. What an incredible gift. And the angels and God universe aren't going to step in unnecessarily unless you're in a very dangerous position where it's not your time to go, but they honor your free will. And it's important for you, for us to ask for the help. All right, let's go ahead and put a hand. Oh, wait a second. Jazz, it's your birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you. Oh, how cool that you could join us on your birthday. Beautiful Aquarian friend. So great to have you here. So we're going to have to celebrate your special day. Wonderful. So placing your hand on your heart, we're going to tune in for everyone and just ask, what is the most important thing that you need to know going into this week ahead so that you can really have that insider advantage, know how to prepare? Okay, Queen of Pentacles. I love it, right? Here's that slow down to go fast. She is paying attention to the details. She's not letting anybody rush her. And she feels so calm and at peace that she's in the middle of the woods with her eyes closed. That also shows to me that she's tuning into other senses. She's not relying on her eyesight to see it, to believe it, but she knows deep down inside there's a clear cognizance, a clear knowing, and she's confident. She has worked hard to get where she is, and she's very intentional and deliberate with where she invests her resources, her time, her energy, her money. She is very self-assured. So remind yourself that this is a week to slow down, pay attention to the details, and don't let anybody rush you into a false sense of urgency. that good old acronym for fear, right? False energy appearing real. And when you do practices, grounding practices, it helps you discern, it helps you protect your energy so that your energy doesn't get hijacked. You know, empaths are, we're impressionable. I don't know. I don't want to speak for everyone, but let me know too in the comments how you feel about that. But I know it's easy to catch into the enthusiasm. Think about being at a concert or being at a sports ball match, a football match, and the crowd is getting so excited and pumped. And it's like, yeah, the energy feels so good here. And you just absorb it. But it's important to realize what belongs to you and what belongs to other people. And one of my favorite practices for doing that, I share it every week, but this really, it's a 2-minute guided visualization. You can go to irenamiller.co/get calm and you can listen to it there. It is super easy, fast. I'll bring you through a variation of it here a little bit later on, but this is one of the best ways to create healthy energetic boundaries, to practice good energetic hygiene, so that as an empath, we can go out and be in the world, but not of it, not absorbing everything and feeling like we're so sensitive. It gets hard because now more than ever, it is important to learn how to keep our eyes and our heart wide open. And how do you do that without absorbing and taking everything in? You ground. You ground and you pay attention to what's in your energy field, your aura, or your personal bubble space, like I like to call it. And you become aware of when things pop into that space that don't belong to you. And you practice clearing it on a regular basis, maybe multiple times a day. And hey, by the way, if we haven't met yet, my name's Irina Miller. I'm a spiritual life guide and astrologer, and it is my joy to work with curious seekers and empaths like yourself, teaching you how to utilize sacred practices that enable you to step into the life that you were born to live. So welcome, welcome. If these kinds of things resonate with you, then please do like, share, subscribe. It helps out so much, helps get this message out. It helps me with the channel. And I'm so, so grateful for you being here. Okay, so let's break down this week. As we look ahead, we know that the overarching energy of the week is one where the moon is getting darker. So naturally, that's an inward turning time, reflection, slow down, reassess, in the sense of we're kind of looking at the numbers almost. If you think of it from a data viewpoint or, those indicators, those key indicators, what you can look at is saying, okay, I was working towards something. What have I achieved so far? What's still working for me? What do I need to let go of to prepare for the next growth cycle? Those things are always very, very helpful when you do that. And hello, Aya. So great to have you. I hope I'm saying your name right. Know that this week I would encourage you to journal, to take time to meditate, to take time if it's warm enough where you are to go for a walk, move your body, because when you're moving your body, even just doing chores in the house, it helps give the mind an activity so that we get out of the logic and we can hear that inner guidance even a little bit more. Let's look at the week day by day according to where the moon is, because today, as we look at that moon in Leo, as we all wake up to it, the moon in Leo is looking for something fun to do. It wants to be creative. It wants to be expressive. It's a moon that brings a lot of loyalty with it. So today, Monday, is a great day to do something creative. If you're feeling very big emotions around something, the Leo energy helps you tap into a courage to express yourself and potentially in a creative new way. If you feel yourself getting sucked into the drama of the world, what I want to invite you to do is take that deep breath and physically kind of pull your energy back to you. Call your spirit home. So let's just take a moment now. This is a great opportunity to do that grounding practice. Many different ways to ground, but this is one of my favorites. So I'm going to just invite you to take a deep breath and to visualize a beautiful column of light that runs from the very center of the cosmos down through the crown of the head, the throat, the heart, the upper belly, lower belly, down through pelvic floor between the legs. It connects you to the very center and core of Mother Earth. I'm doing this a little bit quickly. but you're anchored to the heavens. So we're rooted in the heavens as well as the earth. And then imagine that you have arms that are 10 to 12 feet in length, and you can reach those arms out all around you. Right? You're just kind of feeling out with your imagination, extending your thoughts out, and see if you kind of run into anything in your space. And you're just using imagination. You may be aware of your intuitive gifts already, like clear feeling, clear sentience. So you might feel something in your body, like a tightness. You might have clairaudience. You might be aware of a sound within that 10-foot radius around you. You may be claircognizant. You may just know that something's kind of in your space. You may be, what haven't I talked about? Clairvoyant, clear seeing. You might see something in your mind's eye, like an image pop into your head. And whatever it is, if it isn't in your highest and best interest, flush it down to the earth or ask your angels to help take it out of your space and bring it to where it belongs. And as you release the things from your space, emotions, feelings, opinions, and this is just one very high level way to do it. I go into much more detailed practices in my programs like the Energy Alchemist. But this one, so for me, like right now, I feel a great pressure on my right side. I feel it pressing in. And so there's a little bit of clear sentience coming in for me, clear feeling. So I say hello to that energy and I just say, okay, not so close in my space. And I just imagine with my imagination, I visualize moving it out of my auric field, my personal bubble space, and just asking the angels to help me release this because I feel the connections. I feel the energetic cords on this side. And I'm just asking my angel to bring it to where it belongs. And again, there's different techniques you can do with this. This is just one way that's a nice, fast way to do it. And as you release that energy and you've released the space, things from your space, imagine standing underneath the sunshine and filling up with beautiful golden light. And you're filling up with that beautiful golden light. And I'm even asking for Archangel Raphael's help because I feel a little bit of resistance here, bringing in a little bit of green, a little bit of blue. And some of you who are already tuned into your intuitive gifts might be picking up on my energy field and feeling and seeing and sensing this on the energetic level. It's really cool. I love it when my teachers do that. They're like, I'll show you. And, they're showing me energetically and it's cool. I love it. So let me know in the comments if you can kind of pick up on some of this stuff. So as that clears, and I've got more work to do with it, for now, though, I'm going to bring in that golden light with a little bit of blue for communication. And that's it. Simple. Root, flush, fill. I got a little bit more detailed there. One thing I also want to tell you that you can add to this. Imagine a beautiful golden ball of light over the crown of your head. And this is that 9th chakra, your soul star. And with intention and imagination, call your spirit back to you. Because our spirit, sometimes is out thinking about other people, worrying about things, exploring, astral traveling. Bring it back to you with intention, with imagination. Filter it through that beautiful golden ball of light. Bring it in through the crown, the back of the neck, good, and down into the heart, so that you feel very present. Because when we're distracted, we're more easily susceptible to getting energetically whacked by other people's emotions and feelings and beliefs. And it's discernment. That's what it really comes down to as an empath. So hello, Renee. Thanks for joining again. Great to have you. Wonderful to have you, Kulum. Wonderful. All right. So let's continue talking about the week ahead. So Monday, I highly encourage you to do that root flush fill practice. You can access the guided version of that at irenamiller.co/get calm. Now, Tuesday we have oh, wait, the angels reminded me. I forgot. I didn't pull a card for Monday. How can you make the most of Monday's energy? Thank goodness I've got my angels. All right, the sun. Oh, keep your chin up, have hope. The sun is really about opening up to that opportunity of blessings, to miracles. It's a happy card, but it's also a card that reminds us that there are times where we can be a bit naive and a bit Pollyanna-ish. We're always open. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, open the heart, open the heart. And in my early days of yoga studying, this goes back 30 years ago, it was a lot of heart opening, doing a lot of back bends, which I absolutely adored. And I love heart opening poses, but I wasn't taught how to ground. And if you just open your heart, and oh, I have a friend who calls them bliss bunnies. And it's great to get blissed out and happy on connecting with that universal energy. But if we do it and we're not grounded, it's not safe. So we ground, and to ground, practice that I just shared with you, but keep your chin up, keep looking for the beauty, keep looking for the opportunities, the blessings. It's a very happy energy, but it's also a reminder, stay grounded, because that way we can really discern what works and what doesn't work. And Renee said, wow, you spell it for 5 minutes. It's a light through your body. Oh, good. I'm glad that you were picking up on that. Wonderful. So let's talk about Tuesday. Tuesday, we have the Virgo moon. I love Virgo moons because Virgo moons, I really tune into that energy of getting things done. Great day for admin work, for paying attention to the details, doing the things that sometimes maybe for us non-Virgos are a little bit more challenging, clearing up tasks. It's wonderful. Doing chores even, but think of it as a day to help yourself be very practical, to organize, to tend to your health and your well-being, maybe setting up systems. If you are feeling anxious though, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the mind, make yourself busy in the sense of you do, and this is interesting what's coming through to say, but you can write a list with 2 columns. And the one column is, things I'm worrying about, but I can't necessarily solve today. And you write everything down in that column. And then things I can do something about today. And you write everything down in that column and then address that, even if it's a part of that, because that's going to help ease some of the worry and anxiety that might be swirling around. So let's just ask how to make the most of Tuesday's energy. What do you need to know? 6 of Swords. So where you go, there you are. She's in the boat. She's heading towards calmer waters. Things are getting better, but she's coming from rough seas. While she's making this trip across the waters, she's still bringing her thoughts with her, kind of like that baggage. This is saying, remember, where you go, there you are. Sometimes the grass looks greener. It looks so much better. And we think, oh, if only I could work there. If only I got the promotion. If only I lived in this place. If only I had this training or education. Or if only, the country was different. If only. How about we change the if only into what ifs? What if I let go of this old thought? What if I let go of this old belief? What if I choose to take action on something that helps make a difference, even if it's something as simple as saying, you know what, it's so hard to get the trash cans up and in. No one wants to bring them out or bring them in. And it's not even so much, the issue of bringing garbage cans in and out, but it's challenging to get it in and out of its current position. This is my world. Right? There's stuff in front of where the garbage cans go. So you got to move that stuff to get them out. And then to get them in, you got to move the stuff again. And the system's not working. So what if it's about changing the system to make things flow with greater ease? Sometimes we avoid things. Sometimes things seem overwhelming because the flow of the energy just isn't there to support us and work in harmony with our rhythm. It's like looking at a diet plan or a business model, and it works for everybody else, but it doesn't work for you. And you think, oh, what's wrong with me? Well, what if it's just a tweak in the energy shift? So even like how I'm moving my desk around, I'm going to be playing with the setup for a while, figuring out something that works. That's my grandma's clock back there. Doesn't work, but it's pretty. And inspired by her, my grandma was a quilter. I made that many a moon ago, one of those little eyebrows for the window. Lots of things need to change and shift. But, these are things that remind me of my loved ones and my family. I've got a picture of the family over there somewhere, and they bring me joy. So Virgo moon, set up your space so that it works, so that you can release the old thoughts that aren't helping you get to where you want to go. Okay, Wednesday, we're still in that Virgo moon. So just to kind of back up, the Virgo, moon moves through zodiac signs every 2.5 days. It changes those zodiac signs. So as the moon is kind of moving around us, it's going across the backdrop of the sky against the constellations and yada yada. And so every 2.5 days, it's moving through another zodiac sign so that we have access through our emotions, through our routines, through how we're processing stress, our feelings, our memories, through that zodiacal energy of that sign. And that's what we're looking to tap into. And the Virgo moon, if you have a Virgo in your life, think about what they're like. I giggle because Virgos are supposed to be very neat and organized. My son is a Virgo, and sometimes they're neat and organized about different things. And he's very neat and organized about planning and researching and putting trips together for his friends. So that's all I'll say. I don't want to say too much more there, but sometimes they're not always neat in other ways. And you're like, wait a second. So lean into that Virgo superpower of saying, okay, this is a day to do the research, just find out the details, analyze it. It's really more analytical than like deep research, what works for you, what doesn't work. Okay, Wednesday, lean into that analytical energy. But if you find yourself overthinking, move your body. And I'm going to just ask, how can you make the most of Wednesday's energy? Community. So it's all about friends. It's funny. It's that song that came into my head from Toy Story, like, I've got a friend in you. Lean into your community and friends. You don't have to do it alone. The Virgo energy, they're problem solvers. And a lot of people come to the Virgos for guidance. They come for that insight. They say, how do I fix this? Help me figure out a solution. That can weigh a lot on the Virgos. It can cause extra stress at times. So I want to say, remember that two heads are better than one. That's the phrase that was coming to mind. All right, Thursday. Thursday, we move into the Libra moon. So the Libra moon is about finding balance and harmony. You might be feeling called to beautify your home or your office, or change things up. Or maybe it's a time where you're drawn to having conversations with other people. It's a time where you might want to weigh different ideas and different opinions. And I just want to kind of look at the energy. That's why the angels, Mercury, the planet of communication, is trying to find a new way to deal with all of the surprises and the breakdowns and the breakthroughs. You might find a new, innovative, creative way to have conversations with other people or to share what's on your heart. So lean into that on Thursday. And let's ask, what's the most important thing that you need to know about Thursday's energy? Okay, Four of Cups. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. There's opportunities and blessings right at your fingertips, and you might even be holding them. They might be there in your home, in your closet, in your office, and you're not aware of them because you're focused on what's over here and what everybody else is doing. There's that great old phrase, what anybody else is thinking of you is none of your business. But I also kind of almost feel like what anybody else is doing, we can observe it, we can watch it, but we don't have to be it. It's kind of like running your race. It's very interesting. I can't remember where I picked this up. It was a sports psychologist or trainer who was brought in because it was a swim team somewhere at a university on the West Coast. If you guys know the specifics, drop it in the comments. I think it was on Gabby Reese's podcast. And he was saying when he was brought on as a consultant for this swim team, it was fascinating because when they did their practices, this swim team, their times were so fast. But when they went in to compete, the times drastically slowed down. And it was kind of odd because you would think as an athlete and you're there, adrenaline's pumping, you're going to push harder and harder and harder, and you're going to get an even faster time, right? Because you're competing and you're going for it. But what he discovered was that the athletes were kind of watching what's the person doing in the lane next to me, and what are they doing, and what are they doing, and where are they? And it distracted them enough to drastically reduce their time. And it was fascinating. So Don't let yourself be distracted. Holy cannoli. And that's really what they're saying with this card is the distractions. The distractions are pulling you away from what's most important, what's at hand. And man, I mean, there's always been distractions in the world, but now it's like we want to be able to clear the fog and see the truth. It's kind of like the idea of fairies being these like Tinkerbell, wonderful, cute little things. And you're like, oh, that's an illusion. Fairies have teeth and they're scary. I don't know, just an example. All right. And Paolo, am I psychic? Yes, I am psychic. Oh, and September 8th, Renee, that's wonderful. So you know the Virgo energy. Yes. Yeah, my son's September 3rd. You're so planned. And sometimes it's switched into Alliance Solutions. Fabulous. Love it. Okay. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me, Renee. Okay. Let's talk about Friday. Friday, Libra energy. So we still have that Libra moon. Lean into the artistry of the day. Do something gentle. Make connections with your loved ones. Libra is very diplomatic. The thing about Libra, sometimes it gets a bad rap because they say, oh, the Libras can never make up their mind, or they're always switching, what they believe in, or switching platforms. The thing about the Libra is they want everybody to win. And I heard this interesting thing about compromise and the definition of it. And it's compromise, they said, I can't remember who said this, and see where this lands for you. I haven't sat with it long enough to see how it feels in my tummy, but compromise only works when everybody wins or when everybody thinks they win. Isn't that interesting? And the Libras really, really lean into that. Think of King Solomon when, two mothers came with a child and they're like, this is my baby. This is my baby. And King Solomon said, all right, well, we'll just split the child in half. You each take a half, you each get the child. And then he knew deep down inside that the one who was most bonded with that little one wouldn't be able to see their child cut in half, that child's life would be more important than having the child. And, I don't know, that's an everybody wins solution. I don't know why that came to mind, but I think the reason being is that there are times where we have to make judgment calls, and it's not easy. And sometimes there's no one right answer. My high school, many a moon ago, did this incredible ethics conference, and it was very impactful because I remember the questions they brought up. And you just, sometimes, it's not easy. So I'll leave it at that. Let's pull a card for Friday. How can you make the most of Friday's energy? All right. Queen of Pentacles. There you go. So get all the details, get all the facts before you take action. Again, she's not in any rush. She's outside. She's grounded in nature. Nature is great for calming the nervous system, for clearing your head. There's so many incredible philosophers and teachers and minds of our, I don't even know what to say, but they knew in order to process an idea or a thought, go out and walk. Even to memorize something, it's really a wonderful thing to go out and take a walk, to clear your head. So I'm going to encourage you to do that with Friday. And I know it might be, geez, it's so snowy and cold here right now. We've been like in negative digits with the wind chill. Oh, and this morning I thought, oh, I'm so ready for warmth. But then I thought, no, I'm going to enjoy this cold as it is because it'll be warm soon enough. All right, Saturday, Libra moon early in the day, and then it switches to Scorpio in the afternoon. So one of the things, and I'll talk about void moons, of course. I want to sneeze. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Clearing energy with my sneezes and my coughs. But Saturday, there is a big void moon, of course. And there's another void moon, of course, today on Monday. So I'll address that at the very end. But Saturday, the day kicks off in that Libra energy. And midway through the day, you might notice the shift when the moon goes into Scorpio. The more sensitive you become of the energies around you, you'll start to notice the subtle shifts. It's kind of like being around a loved one, friend, partner, and you picking up on a vibe and saying, something wrong? And they're like, no, everything's fine. You're like, something's wrong. it's just interesting. You start to feel the subtleties. So Scorpio, when the moon shifts into Scorpio, there's an intensity that can come over, and sometimes we might feel an urgency to solve something or do something, a compelling draw. Use that Scorpio energy to help you focus and also to do the deep dive research to find the truth. So how to make the most of Saturday's energy. Let's see who comes out. Five of Wands. It's interesting. So the Five of Wands is a card about competition. It's a card about striving for the light, but it's also a card where sometimes we beat ourselves up. We might fall into that comparison trap of thinking, oh my gosh, everybody else has this down. It's so easy for them. They make it look so easy. Why am I here? Why is it the struggle so hard? What I want to invite you to do is keep your eyes on where you are going and make sure that you know where you're going and that where you're going is still in alignment with your soul calling and your heart. Step back for a moment. This is that week of the waning moon where it's great for reflection, tuning in, and listen. Listen to the guidance you receive. I believe that we have these dreams planted in our hearts, not just to drive us crazy and make us long for something we can't have, but to work in step with God universe to co-create, to make them a physical reality. But if we get distracted, if we compare ourselves to other people, it's going to slow us down and it's going to get us off the path we're meant to be on. I'll never forget, I was at this beautiful art fair and everybody was getting very excited about this one artist who had this beautiful work. It was like different types of bubbles. And I saw the beauty in it and I really did like it. And all my friends were like, oh my God, this is it's beautiful. I need to get one and I need to get one. I need to get one. And I started feeling like, I need to get one. I need to get one. And then I was like, whoa, wait a second. I do like it. It's beautiful, but let me just take a breath, ground, root, flush, fill. Is it in my heart right now? Is this divine right timing to invest, to purchase in one of these paintings? And what I realized was that it isn't, that I was just getting swept up in the enthusiasm and the excitement of everyone else around me. And then the fear of missing out, like, oh, well, what if I don't have one and all my friends have one? Oh, right. It's not easy. So these are wonderful, wonderful little energy practices that you can do as an empath to protect your energy. The grounding, root, flesh, fill, call your spirit, call your energy back home to you. All right, Sunday, we're fully in that Scorpio moon. So you might find yourself drawn to wanting to have deeper, more intimate conversations. Look for the people that you feel comfortable with, that you can trust and you can open up to. Scorpio energy is very interesting, very beautiful, very deep, very soulful. It can be intimidating because the Scorpios, they know how to see and access the truth. Great, great detectives. All right, how can you make the most of Sunday's energy? See who pops up. The Justice card. I feel this energy a lot this week. That justice energy, that Libran energy, that balance, that harmony. What I love about this card is that she has her eyes closed. She's not looking to the outside world for validation or understanding or feedback on what to do. This card does represent Libra energy, by the way, the tarot, the 11, the Justice Major Arcana card. But here's the thing about the Libran energy. In searching for the best possible solution or judgment, the Librans do like to go to people and ask their opinions. They like to go to the experts. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? But what's important that we learn from that energy, all of us as empaths, is yes, we can go to others for their expert guidance, for their insights, for their thoughts, for their wisdom. But before you act on it, right? Before you take their truth as gold standard, because it might be truth for them, it might work for them, but take a moment to sit with it, right? She's got her eyes closed. I've got the information. I did my research. I did my due diligence. Now I'm going to digest it and let that opportunity for time to pass and to sit with it. Slow down to speed up this week. And as you sit with it, start to discern, feel how it feels in your belly. There's a different energy practices of, and I'm seeing like what's around me, right? Like candle versus my beautiful little Shanghai here. And you can hold them in your hand and you can say, okay, as I hold them in my hand, and you might want to do just one at a time, right now today, is it in my highest and best interest to light a candle? Will this candle help me really connect with my spirit? And you notice what you pick up. Do you feel something in your body? You can even say, is this a candle? Or you can say, this is an apple. And you can say, there's lots of different ways to this little intuitive psychic exercise. And you feel in your body, or you listen, or you look for an image that pops into your head, or just a clear knowing in your gut. Those are the four main clears. And you can do the same thing with the Shanghai or in any other crystal, is in my highest and best interest. I smile right away. Like the Shanghai is what I need today. And I always kind of keep this right in front of me to help ground me, to help make sure that I'm not picking up all the crazy EMFs from my computer and the like. Lots of different reasons to use Shanghai. But Shanghai is definitely feels like a yes in my body. My face, my mouth smiles. I get lit up. I feel bigger, more buoyant. Doesn't mean the candle can't help. But what my body needs, what the yes is the Shanghai. So little tips like that. Okay. And that's how you can start to really discern what's true for you. Thank you all so much, excuse me, for jumping on today. I want to remind you as you're moving through this week, ask yourself, and here's one last little exercise I want to share with you, energy practice. If a big emotion or feeling comes over you, take a deep breath, ground, do the root, flush, fill. And after you do that, see like a circle in front of you. Oh, Julie, thank you about the voids. Holy cannoli. Yes. So for the energy practice, I'm going to say this really quickly. Root, flush, fill. And as you go through the week, if a big emotion or feeling comes over you, envision like a circle in front of you, a bit like a speedometer from 0 to 100. And if anything is in your space and you're feeling it, ask how much of this belongs to me. And first thing that comes to mind, maybe it goes up to 70 or 80 or 90 or 99%. You're like, okay, 99% of this is mine. 1% belongs to someone else. Ask your angels to help send the percentage that doesn't belong to you back to where it belongs, and then fill up with the golden light. Okay. And you can also do that the other way. You can say how much of this feeling or emotion belongs to someone else. But imagine that speedometer and where it goes. And that's a great practice to help you. Void moons. Yes, this is important because when the moon is void, you don't want to be trying to get things done that you want results on or feedback on. Use a void moon for reflecting, for journaling, for meditating, for resting, or doing things where you want nothing to come of it. Well, let's say you have to have an important conversation with someone that you've been worried about. Maybe you call during that time to set up the appointment to speak, or you send off that email. Nothing will come of it. Or maybe you schedule the conversation during that time. Nothing will come of it. So void moons, of course, today, Monday, big one, from 5:55 p.m. Eastern until 10:21 p.m. Eastern. I love the details. You could say from like 6 to 10:30, but that's a big deal. Tuesday, I kind of went over this without getting into the astrology too much, but Uranus stations direct, and Uranus is a big planet. It's a planet of breakthrough, eureka, aha. We're already feeling it slowing down, but tomorrow it might feel a little bit of a jolt, might feel a little discombobulated. Watch your nervous system. If you're feeling agitated, if your mind is going, then definitely give your mind something to do. Knit, color, clean, go for the walk, but make your hands busy. Then the next big void moon, of course, is Saturday, and that goes from 6:59 a.m. Eastern until 2:13 p.m. Eastern. And that's something that you want to know Saturday morning. So Monday evening, rest. Rest tonight. Don't try to get things accomplished or done. Put your feet up, relax. The moon's not having conversations with any other planet. Neither should you. Rest. Saturday as well. So if you had big plans for February 7th, Saturday morning, make it easygoing, right? Do chores, clean things up, tie up loose ends, but don't, if you're trying to start something brand new or accomplish something, you might get frustrated Saturday morning because It may not work out because the moon's void, of course. I'm not saying it couldn't, but I'm saying the energy is against it. The other thing too, and I think this is why communication came in, and let me know your feedback. I want to make these Monday mornings with you a chance for you to get the details of what you need to know and go on with your day. I love the astrology, but I don't want to get into too much astro geek speak to overwhelm you. But why I've been saying all this about the mind, the nervous system, is because Mercury is also getting ready to change zodiac signs. And Mercury is getting ready to go into the energy of Pisces. So you might be thinking more in pictures than words. You might find yourself a little bit foggy, discombobulated, like what's going on? How do I make a choice? What's mine? How do I discern? Journaling is great too. Speaking it out loud, be like, oh my God, I don't sound like myself. I wasn't in my right mind. Watch for phrases like that because that's a sign that you're carrying other people's energy and thoughts in your space. Root flush fill, great beginning practice to help clear the pathway. And then Sunday, Venus comes into, this tougher conversation with the planet of breakdown for breakthrough. And what you might find is that some of your values, maybe even some of the relationships that you had, things need to give. Something's got to give. Something needs to change within your values when it comes to relationships, when it comes to partnerships. There's some breakthrough that's coming. So just be aware of that. It is a bit of an intense week in some ways, because I think there's that feeling of we're ramping up, we're moving towards the eclipses, we're feeling that eclipse energy. Saturn and Neptune, all of a sudden, I'm like, hello. Yes, Saturn and Neptune are having that big connection in Aries at 0 degrees at the end of February 20th. That's a big thing. That's a really, really big thing that many astrologers are already speaking about. So you're welcome. Thank you for being here. If you guys have questions, if you want to know more about something, let me know. That's part of my soul calling, is to share, to teach. I love it. It's my joy. And thank you to have all of you here. It just means the world to me, coming together in a community like this. I love you all so much. And I look forward to our Mondays together every Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. I pop on live. And as you go through your week, remember, trust your vibes and follow your heart. It's important for us as empaths to protect our energy because the world needs you. They need your light. They need your radiance. They need your hopefulness. And they need your example, how to lead with love and to live with love. All right. Much love to all of you. And I'll catch you all on the flip side. Bye, guys.